Hello there, and welcome to this episode of Rants. And well, good news or bad news or indifferent news, or whatever how you like to put it, how to feel about it. If you've just heard, I don't know if you just heard it or not, but yes, the Premier League is back on. It's back on, yeah. 2 months after it closed down after the onset of the coronavirus, especially after a few players caught it early on. Remember Mikel Arteta, Arsenal manager, was the first, I think, player in England to catch the virus. Yeah, it's back on. June the 17th is the date mooted for it. And the first game, that's going to be a Friday night game. First game will be Spurs Manchester United at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I'm not quite sure. Well, I'm not sure how to feel about it, really. Let me just lay the cards out straight off. I mean, I was an advocate for the games being cancelled and how the season is resolved, points per game, or just literally cancelling there and then, ignoring what's gone on and restarting again next season. But obviously, the Premier League weren't having that because for them, there's just a lot of money involved, really. And I imagine that many of the clubs, Spurs included, were not having that as well because they'd have to pay back quite a lot of TV money as well, and there's a lot of invested interest as well for how the season would have finished. So so I guess the Premier League plus their sponsors would have had the idea that we have to kickstart the season and finish off and get these 9 games over and done with. As you may know, the Bundesliga have already taken the lead on that one. I think they're like 2 weeks in now. But the difference with the Bundesliga and the Premier League is that Bundesliga based in Germany, and they've had a proper control on this virus. Really, I know they've had a couple of spikes in the days leading up to the first restart of Bundesliga game, but they kind of got it under much more better control than we have, really. It's just kind of I'm just kind of fearful of what will happen if there is a further spike and if a player does catch it. And I know a couple of players had tested positive for it already. A few in Watford, a couple of other players as well. Mariappa being one of the players. But and I know that they have kind of recovered, or they're getting better, and they're all back in training now. None of the players have tested positive any time since. But I don't know. It's just way too risky. I mean, we've seen most of us, or some of us, I should say, many of us maybe, have seen what the virus can do. And I'm just thinking, what will happen to a rundown player? A rundown player who's played 90 minutes, exerts a lot. Is at the lowest until until they regenerate their fitness and then they catch the virus. I just don't want to see a player get so torn down by this thing. I don't want to see any casualties or fatalities even. But maybe I'm just thinking of the worst case scenario. Who knows? But my thought would just been to cancel the season and start again. But I know that has ramifications for the leagues below and stuff like that. But I'm sure it would have worked something out, and also has ramifications for the TV money as well that was spent, and also for the for the clubs who have a few games left on their season tickets. What do they do? Refund it or pay it forward for the next season? I know there's a lot of ramifications for that, and it would have caused quite an issue. But I think that's probably. I think that would have been a lot safer than continuing the season. But it is what it is. We are where we are now, and June the 17th is when the Premier League re-kicks off. 9 games left. Spurs have 9. I mean, some other teams have 10 games, but we have 9, and we kick off against Manchester United on a Friday night. I'm sure June the 17th is a Friday night. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff. But I guess if I look forward to the football, the plus side is that We have all our players fit and raring to go. Kane's back from fit to full fitness. Sissoko's back. Bergvain's back. It's quite a lot, quite a few. And I'm just watching they're doing interviews on Sky Sports News, and Pep Guardiola has a mask on, so it's not completely a safe environment, but it is what it is, and we are where we are. But yeah, so we got a few players back. Well, all our players back now. Everyone's fighting fit, and well, 9 games left. I guess you could say we're 7 points off the Champions League places. So yeah, 27 points up for grabs. But judging by our form going into to this beforehand, I know that we had a lot of players out, and we're literally walking wounded. But we have to try and I guess we have to try and find a way of getting some form back on. It's pretty much like a new start almost, isn't it? So we shall see what happens with that one, and hopefully we kick off with a win. I mean, Manchester United. I'm pretty sure most teams have their players back and raring to go. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, they'll have 2 weeks of training to get back to some kind of match fitness, and then the games kick off. So well, I'll say 2 weeks, 20 days, isn't it? So yeah, about 3 weeks. So we shall see what happens. It's going to be surreal because obviously there won't be any fans in there, and I hope. And I'm imploring really all the Spurs fans and Man United fans as well, because obviously you have a fair few fans in the Tottenham area, being the Manchester club that you are. So it's kind of like a London derby, isn't it? But I'm imploring all the fans to kind of stay away, watch it on TV and whatnot, um, and we shall see what happens. But you know, there's going to be a surreal atmosphere, no fans at all. I think there's only about 300 people allowed in the stadium, and I think most of them will be players and staff. So and TV crew, of course. Oh yeah, it's going to be live as well. I think it's going to be BT that's going to show that game on the Friday night. So we shall see what happens. Fighting fit. So who would you pick? So I guess the question is, who would you have as your starting 11? Who would you play? Because with everyone fit and raring to go, it's going to be intriguing now. Kane's obviously going to be fit, and yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be an interesting one for me. I mean, I'd like to see us go full 4-3-3. I really would, and I think that would actually kind of work. But we shall see. So obviously, I think we have to pick a team now I'll say based on who's fit, where everyone's fit. But kind of based on the need to try and win all 9 games now, that's literally what we have to do. Um, Obviously, not for any title or anything, because Liverpool are 25 points ahead of the team who are, 11 points ahead of us. No, sorry, 16 points ahead of us. So it's not it's a foregone conclusion that the title's theirs, really, if we continue. 25 points ahead, so they just need one more win, I think. Yeah, they just need one more win, and then they secured it. But they're on a run of 3 straight defeats. But anyway, that's not about Liverpool. So my team for Manchester United on June the 17th, it will have to be Lloris in goal. I think that speaks for itself, really, doesn't it? It's Lloris in goal, and and well, I know there's been stories linking us to other goalkeepers as well. I'm not quite sure if that's going to be as a number 2 for Lloris. In which case Gazaniga's place is under threat, or as a replacement for Vorm, obviously, who will be leaving. I don't know if he's already left yet, because I think it's June the 30th. That's when his contract finishes. So, so yeah, I don't know if we're going for 3 keepers, or we're just going to have a replacement for either Lloris or Gazaniga. But that's by the by. Now, be in the future, wouldn't it? So on the right back, well, what choice would we have right there? That will have to be the one and only. But he hasn't done too badly, really. Aurier, he's been our most improved player, really, under Mourinho, and that's credit to him, really, for working hard and doing very well. So I have no qualms of bringing Aurier there. Left back, that'll be a tricky one. Obviously, Rose is still at Newcastle. He's there on loan, so it would have to be Ben Davies, wouldn't it? And yeah, I don't mind him too much. I quite like him as a player. I think he's all right, and we're going to need someone who's a bit more defensively minded, especially against Manchester United. So yeah, that should be. I have no qualms there. Centre back pairings will be Alderweireld and Sanchez, I would say. So those two pick itself. And then the three in the middle. This is where it gets interesting, really. Sissoko, I'd say, will be on the right side of that three. And I know he doesn't want to play, though, or maybe he does, I have no idea. But Dial has to be in the middle of that lot there with Ndombele. No one in Ndombele there? No, leave it. Yeah, let's have Giovanni Lo Celso in there, actually. Again, Ndombele. Have him on the bench. He can come on later on, but Giovanni Lo Celso was quite integral to the way we played before the lockdown. So, yeah, I'll have him in there. That should be fantastic. And then the front three, we have Kane, of course, and then Son to his left, and then Bergwijn to his right. How does that look to you? Does it look good? I know that means that Ali won't be there. It means that Lamella won't be there. It means it actually looks like we have a decent enough squad. But anyway, I want to go 4-3-3, but I know if we went 4-2-3-1, that'll be a little bit different. Obviously, Ali will come in, and maybe even Ndombele will come in there and they'll support Kane. But I'm thinking 4-3-3 for that to start off with, and then we shall see how that pans out. So yeah, that's my team right there. What do you think? What would you prefer to see? That would be my question now. There's obviously the season's now going to restart, Project Restart as it's called, and so it's going to happen now, whether we want it to or not. So let us know. What do you think? So is it good to have football back? Only time will tell. Got 9 games left. Let's hope we use them wisely. Okay, there's a Crisandro, of course, and as always, come on, you Spurs. You all take care now.